Hi, welcome to another EPC Teardown Guide. Today we have the HP ZBook Fury. This is an 11th gen laptop and it has 42 screws inside, so it may take a little while, but today we're going to show you how. Now let's get into it. We're going to start off here with 4 TR8 screws. I think you can use a 7, but I feel like the 8 is just the perfect fit here. There's going to be 2 here, 2 here. I'm missing these 2, so just pretend they're there. We're gonna just get in there. They are pretty tight, so you may need to use some force. And then all you have to do is slide this guy to the right, and then pull it back, and it comes right off. Now that we have that off, usually I like to just get the battery out of the way. And for that, it's just the same as the back cover. You have a locking mechanism here and here. Slide both those guys to the left, and it just lifts right out. All right, now that we have the battery out, we're gonna get the hard drive out right here. All that takes is 1 screw. So now we're gonna transition to the Phillips. It's gonna be Phillips for the rest of the teardown. And that should be a Phillips 0 or 1. And then you're going to want to take a plastic tip, something with a plastic tip, and right here on the side is a little notch that sticks out. Just get it, angle it under there. Sometimes it can be a little hard. This one's a little thick. And it'll pop right out, and your hard drive will be right here. Now that we have our hard drive out, we're going to take out the RAM. It's going to be 1 Phillips screw right here. And this one could be a little hard, but there should be a tiny little tab right here. You can kind of get your fingernail up and under, and it lifts right out. And for the RAM, unlatch both sides, pops out, just pull them out of there. All right, this next step's pretty difficult. We have a whole bunch of screws here. We're gonna start right here at the top left. We're gonna work our way around, and then there are a few screws in the middle that are all holding this motherboard cover in place. So let's get started. 1 here. Sometimes it could kind of stick in there. Make sure that you have a nice magnetized bit to help you get them out without damaging anything. So down here on these 2 corners, they really get stuck. There's a little magnet down there that's keeping them in place. So this is where you'll really need that magnetized bit. This one here is a little magnet, help us get it out. And you'll notice that these ones on the bottom are actually shorter than the ones that are going to be all around the rest of the top part. So you want to keep those separated so you know which ones go where. And then we're going to do 1, 2, and 3. These are actually holding the keyboard in place. So we're going to get those right out of the way. Now after removing these 3 screws, there are 3 more right here. We're going to get those guys out. Now that all the screws are out, we could actually start taking this motherboard cover off. Be very careful. Don't start pulling unless you know for sure all the screws are off. As you can see, I wasn't so careful earlier. Luckily, this is already a damaged model, which is why we're using it for demonstration purposes. So We're gonna start from the bottom. This one's already kind of coming off. You shouldn't have to use too much of any force at all. We're gonna just set that off to the side. Now that we have that off, we're gonna take out the cooler. This actually has our screws numbered for us, which is kind of interesting. So we're gonna start with number 1. These ones can be a little tough to get in there, so make sure you're applying a lot of downwards force as you're turning. You don't want to strip these because these do not come out all the way. All right, so these are pretty tight and they did in fact strip. So we're gonna get these out of here and we'll be right back. Okay, so 5, 7, and 8 are stripped. So we're gonna see if we get these out of here. Now we have our bit in. We're just gonna line it up, apply pressure, and let's see. There's number 1. Pressure. There's number 3. All right, we got lucky there. Okay, and a quick thing to mention, whenever you're tearing down a laptop, if your screws are numbered like this, taking it off doesn't really matter what order you do it in. But when putting it back on, you want to try and make sure you follow the guide. Kind of like a car tire, you want to make sure you're applying pressure at the right places at the right time so that you get an even distribution. Now that we got the screws unstripped here, we're going to do the other 2. That's going to be right about right here, kind of behind the display cable. So let's get that off first. So with this display cable, you'll be very careful. There's tape on here. Whenever I first did it, it was a little tough to do. Sometimes whenever you take off this tape, you can pull back a little too far, start to expose the wires up here. So try not to do that. Just gently lift up to where the adhesive is gone and take both hands and just pull straight back. Then you just gently undo it from right here where it's threaded. And now we have our screw exposed. So let's get that out right there. Number 2 is over here. Kind of like the same thing with this display cable over here. Here, this doesn't have adhesive, but you don't want to kind of yank it or else you might expose the wires. So there's 2 tabs on the left and right side. We're going to take our fingernails, get it between those 2 tabs, and just push. Then we unthread it. Now we have the Wi-Fi card and the antennas here. You want to be very, very gentle when taking these off. You will have a plastic piece that's covering these 2. It's just a little bit of adhesive. Just get under there and pull it off. Unfortunately, I forgot to install it before the video, but that's all right. So we're going to take these and gently unthread them. I kind of like to start a little bit back from the connector here. Makes it a little easier to take them off safely. And now it's just 1 screw right here. Take out the Wi-Fi card. It'll lift up and you just gently pull it out there. There we go. And now the last screw right here, top left. And now, final 2, here and here. All right, now before you start lifting, make sure your fans are disconnected. Kind of like with the display cable, you want to use your fingernails to get onto both ends and just kind of gently pull out. It's kind of hard to see here, but you might need a tool sometimes. I'm going to use these tweezers here just to make it a little easier. All right, now that all the screws are out, we could just lift it straight out of here. Set that off to the side. And now we're going to do the GPU. So these flatheads are really dangerous. These strip very easily, so make sure you're being extra careful with these. We'll start from the top left. So these ones on the right here are actually longer than the ones on the left, so make sure you separate the two, or at least remember. And now we'll do one here, one here. And this guy should just lift right out. And there's going to be a little adhesive in the back, so just take your hand, slide it back here to lift it out gently. Next, we're going to do the keyboard. So we're going to flip it back over here. And for this, we're going to start from the top right using a prying tool. Get it underneath the bezel here, where it starts to come out. Get under, lift. I like to twist it a little bit. And then it's going to start from the top here. You want to pull down and lift out. So that motion is you just pull it down and it should start to pop right out. Now, you got some ribbon cables in the back here. First one, it's a small one right here. Lift up the tab and it just pops right out. Next one, main keyboard one, lift up the tab, pops right out. And now, there's one more that's right here. It's going to be on the back of the board. But before we do that, we're going to take this cable out right here. I like to use little pliers just to get in there, get on both sides of those plastic tabs there. Now, for that extra cable on the back there for the keyboard, we should undo it right there, flip it back over, slides right out. Now that we've taken out the keyboard, we're going to take out this hard drive slot right here. So it's just one screw, unhooks there, lifts out. Mine got a little crazy there. And there you are. Finally, we're going to take the motherboard out. We've got a few screws to get through here. We're going to start at top left, right here. Then you want to do these flat ones here, just like on the GPU. Be very careful, they strip pretty easy. Now take out the ribbon cables, start from left, go to right. Just lift up the plastic tab. I like to take some tweezers just to get a gentler grip. Just pull them out here. Lift up. Pull out, make sure to relock them. Take out this one right here for your hard disk drive. Now that all the screws and cables are out, we're just going to take this, lift straight out. That easy. All right. Well, a few extra things you could do if you really need to. You got your one of the daughter boards right here. That's just 2 screws there and there. You also have another one up here. These are for all your USBs on the side. That's one screw here, 1 screw here, 1 screw here. And then you also have your touchpad, which is here, 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 here. Unscrew those and it should just pop right out. But that's what we're into today. That's how you tear down the HP ZBook Fury 17. Thanks for watching.
Don't feel like doing a teardown yourself? Have not just one, but hundreds of devices taking up space? EPC is a global leader in the ITAD field, and it's our goal to reduce e-waste and give devices a second chance. Reach out to us today to learn more.